Sorry about that, chat. We were just running in some technical difficulties. I was trying to switch over to OBS and wasn't working out well, so we're back to Streamlabs. Rich, Carol, thank you very much. Julius, thank you very much for the follow. Give me just a minute here, guys, and we'll get going, and we'll have some fun today. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of TELERIA podcast. Thank you all for joining us on this Sunday. I do apologize about the little technical difficulty that we had. I was trying to switch over to OBS so I could start doing a little more fun things, but it looks like I don't know. I'm not that good with computers. I can play games, but that's about it on them. With that said, we got to talk about a lot of things today, man. Like, first of all, Plarium, what the hell are you doing, right? The last 2 weeks, I feel like taking last week off was such a huge mistake. But unfortunately, you know, I got to spend some family time. With that said, before I get too far, let's introduce today's panel. In the top red, we have Mr. Partner Streamer of the Year, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, what is going on, brother?
Doing good, but I feel like there is some hate going on to me after I pulled the second Teox, man. Like, I don't know what's going on, guys.
All right, hold on, guys. Got to cancel the stream. I got to kick him out. He's gone. He's out.
Free to play double Teox out of here.
Free to play.
My clan is threatening me to send in my alt clan, dude.
Free to play my what the. Oh, that is incredible, though. That is some really good luck, man. Double Teox. Awesome. Gotta love
Thank
it.
You.
Gotta love it.
Thank you.
Next up, we're gonna go with the Mr. Late Night Streamer, who unfortunately lately, because I changed my shift, I'm not able to tune in as much, which I do miss. And I might set that alarm clock to get up, unless he decides to stream at like 2 in the morning or 5 in the morning when I get up for work. Mr. MXPJ, PJ, what's going on, brother?
Doing good. Definitely don't have to change your sleep schedule. The sleep is more important for sure. But I'm doing good. Pulled some shards, pulled some Legos. Got Battle Khazar, which I'm actually pretty happy about. I hate using the Trundle team, but he'll be good for that team in the future. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, happy to be here, talk about Raid, and should be a good podcast.
Nice. All right, next up, we've got the Mr. Live Arena player himself going up against those Krakens. Mr. Gestal Gaming. Gestal, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Not as lucky on the sharp pulls. I did get a second UDK. Not decided on what I want to do. Power the other one, or kind of go like super defensive heavy one and like a super high resist another one. So nothing big, but UDK.
Okay, that's good. You know,
a nuke UDK. Really?
I don't know if
maybe
anybody,
I'll try that.
I don't know if anybody caught it, but I did do a video on it last week where I did build a nuke UDK, and I actually one of the guys that went and saw the video fought me and came back and was like, "I thought I had you dead to rights," and all of a sudden, Death Knight's A2, he's the last one standing. You nuked me in one Gold 4 live arena. He was like, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. But that is something to look at right there. I did build mine up. Stone Skin, he needs a little more love, but he's fun to play with. Next up, we got the guy that doesn't have just one head or two. He's a 5-headed thinker. Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, long time no see, brother. What's going on?
What's up, man? It's been a while. I was gonna come last week, but you weren't here, so I was like, okay, we're gonna wait till this week. Yeah, a lot of drama, a lot of crazy stuff has been happening in Raid. Just been trying to do all these events for Thor, and now we got the Titan Path, but man, it's just been busy. I don't think they're giving us a break. You know, we need to talk about what's going on.
Oh yeah, we got lots of things to come. Well, I guess we could complain a little bit, but yeah, we've got a lot of things to talk about today. Next up, we've got the Dab Master himself, looking a little ghosty right there and preparing for Halloween. Mr. Zero Brew. Zero, what's going on, brother?
Can you see through my soul? That's what we want to know. Hopefully we can get that fixed. Got my message deleted shirt on. No, been a crazy week. I got lots of bones to pick, but I can't wait for the conversation this week. This week also, the trading card game shop simulator. I got it, and I kind of a little bit addicted to it.
It looks addicting.
It's a little bit fun. It's a little bit fun. It's simple and it's very alpha, but
what's the game? What is it?
You literally own a trading card game shop. So they basically have a mock trading card game, kind of like a Digimon, Pokemon card collector thing, and you literally open up your shop and you have people come in and play tournaments, and you know, as your shop progresses, you unlock different things to buy. So you're buying like playing mats and 20-sided dice, and you can get the white, the blue, the red, the black, and you got to keep leveling up to unlock more merchandise. And you can sell
Interesting.
little stuffed animals, like typical stuff you would, if you're Magic the Gathering player, which I've been playing Magic the Gathering since 1995. Fun fact. But yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's it's simple, but it's only $11 or $12 on Steam too, so it's priced appropriately for what you're getting.
One other thing about it, I haven't played it. I was watching some people stream it though, and like you get to like pull the cards yourself, like pull the packs and see the cards, and they have like different values and they have like different art. I saw someone pull like $1,000 card and it was like shiny holographic. It's like so you get the dopamine of like pulling stuff of like packs.
Yeah, you get
Nice.
open. You get to open, rip
For
packs,
free,
right? And then you can sell the cards as solo cards, and then like everything that's worth $1 or less that you do open up, you can buy a workbench, and then you can buy the little bulk opened 100 card pack things and resell your cards and stuff. I mean, it's legit just like that, and you can hire employees. So right now I got a dude running around restocking my shelves during the day. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I would say.
And that's important. It'll come back to one of my beefs later.
Oh, boy,
foreshadowing.
Here we go.
Foreshadowing. Yeah.
All right, and last but not least, we got the newcomer here who's giving Mr. FinalKenpachi a run for his money on the free-to-play. We've got Mr. Iron Roadblocks. What's going on?
Not much. Since we're talking about Deoxys, I got one on my free to play as well. So maybe that's the secret, right? Just make them free to play.
I hate you both right now. I don't know what to say right there. I guess I can't complain too much because earlier today I was at church and I was doing my setting up my coffee hour, fellowship hour, whatever. And then all of a sudden I pulled one remnant and I got myself, where is this guy? Where is he?
Who?
Where is he? Right here. We got Foley the mechanist. So I was kind of happy. I was like, I'm sitting at church and I'm like, oh shit!
Hallelujah!
The kids around me at church are like, oh, he just said a bad word. I was like, oh, go away. But that said, yeah, I was excited. I was really, really happy. But I think this is gonna bring us into our first point because we've gotten a lot of shard events this week. And chat, I want to hear from you guys. Are you sick and tired of the shard events? It's like the portal hasn't stopped glowing for like the last 6 months. And I feel like right now it's a big problem because, and I'm not a big fan of this type of event, but we've got the Champ Chase and they're locking an Odin behind it, right? Now, I just want you guys to take a look at the global leaderboards real quick. 407,000 is first place. And then we've got Mr. Priest Guardian right here, which I believe he's in chat, at 76,000. We've got second place here at 140. I mean, this is kind of crazy. Where do you guys stand on the summoning events that we've been having lately? And what are your feelings about Odin being, I guess, the guaranteed for 1 out of 100 if you're willing to whale off? Let's start off with Ken
50.
first. 50, 1 out of 50, sorry.
I mean, with that money, I can get the wife, house, and make the babies,
Okay, so...
And get the Odin.
I mean, to be honest, like, I don't think this is about the Odin. Like, even you place there, like, Crab Champion, let's say, like, Lord Shazar, for example, okay, like, he's not super crap, but people still gonna do, like, crazy numbers. Maybe not that much, but crazy numbers. I think it's all about the ego, or I don't know what is that, but this is absolutely not worth it that much, like, I don't know, actually, this dude on the number 1, or the top 5 people, or top 10, are they fighting right now with somebody? Like, is your local tournament? Do they need that much point? They probably doesn't, right?
I don't think so. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
way.
I don't think so either.
Like
they just slow opening, man. I guess.
Mr. HWZ, shout out to HWZ, another raid content creator. Love the guy. Huge, actually, probably one of my huge supporters here to help me through everything. I've talked to him a lot, but he says here, Ken, it's gonna run you about 500K to have a wife, baby, and a house. I think whatever this guy spent. I mean, if we do a rough average, what is it? $200 for 100.
I mean, I live in Turkey, so
okay, all right,
it's
all right,
easier. Yeah.
Okay, so like $1,000 there is
inflation.
Like $1 million. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Something like that.
But big shout out to Mr. HWZ. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys go give him a follow over on the YouTubes. I'll post his link here. But Gestal, what are your thoughts, man, on all these summoning events? Where are you standing with this?
I mean, the game is free to play, and it needs a way to be continued to be built and added onto new champs all the time. The way that happens is with Krakens like my man Crypto, keeping this game afloat. So I have no problem with it, honestly. I think people want to throw money at the game. It means the game's only going to get better, in my opinion. So keep doing it, man, because I'm not doing that. I don't know. If you can do it, all more power to you.
I don't have to do it.
Yeah, but it keeps the game afloat, right? Like if nobody was doing that, this game would not. It would be like all the other games out there. You'd be getting one champ a month. You'd have one update a year, maybe. This game, you get 2-3 updates a year, major updates, and you're getting 4 to 10 champs a month. Like that's what keeps this game going.
Yeah. Jay, where do you stand with this, man?
This specific one is kind of crazy. But pretty much like they have to spend. Like the only thing for me personally is like if a player wants to not go to a real casino and wants to play raid instead, it's totally fine. It's like, hey, I'd rather play with my little digital stuff instead of going to some place where machines and all this stuff is rigged that I can't win something. Or sometimes you do hit big, but most of the time you lose. But here, at least you spend money and you get stuff in return. I guess it just depends on the actual player themselves. The only thing for me though is when people do spend a lot, after like a year or two, they all complain of how much they spent. It's like, then why did you? But other than that, if Krakens, Cthulhu's want to go crazy, that's what raid's for. Just throw your money.
Jay, what do you get back when you spend in this game? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, if you're spending like an insane amount, the dopamine's not there because you're always pulling stuff, right?
Okay.
So I think it's like an ego or like kind of like a testicle thing. It's whoever has the bigger +4, whoever can do this. That's all it is. Oh, I'm 430 speed, you're 420. It's like, oh, I beat you up faster or I have more crit damage. That's all it is. It's just a bragging rights at the end of the day.
Okay. Next up, I'm gonna go to the guy that's holding the cup on his face, or was, Mr. PJ. PJ, where do you stand with all this, man?
Yeah, it seems like this past year has been super, super heavy on summoning events. It's just kind of how the game has been. It's not really about how many. I feel like it's more about when you should be using your shards. That's just because they have these events doesn't mean you need to pull on these events. For an example, for this fusion for the first champion chase, I have 60 or 70 sacreds at the time, and I didn't use any of them. I used like 2 remnants, 3 Broadmas, and I fused some of the rares for the Broadmas into it. So even though I had the shards, and I could have easily done it with the shards, I chose to save the shards and use other resources that I could for events down the line, for Freya, for other guaranteeds. Okay. So yeah, I would say that the amount of points he put up is like, I don't know why he did. I would have saved some for other events down the line, but I guess he'll just buy more. But yeah, it doesn't impact me how much they pull. It helps the game. It's a free to play game, like Gestal said. So they need spenders to spend, and yeah, it's more about just like knowing when to pull your shards, I think.
Okay. The Doom Lord Gregor event is currently done, so I guess maybe he was just chasing that +4. Who knows? I don't know if he's worth that much, but let's go to Roadblock. What about you, man? Where do you stand with all of this?
For me, I've been enjoying the opportunity to pull shards, but I will admit that's a little bit because as a content creator, you guys all know those are our best videos, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be able to pull those shards and get those videos out and get those views. But as far as like the Odin behind a champion chase, I don't really like that. Especially because if you get into a pissing contest with somebody at the end of it, and it's like, you could miss out by 10 points because they pulled one extra ancient or something, and it's just it can be really painful to get into that battle and then just completely strip your account and have no reward at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Zero, where do you stand?
Yeah, so I think wow, it's gonna be crazy for me to say, but I think Plarium may have done it right? Because think about it. They came out with this cool themed champion thing, right? They gave us 4 champions. We got Loki for free. Thor was a fusion. We know there's a deck of fate coming for Freya, which is a limited version, and then the Void champion, which is Odin, is probably the most rare. It's the Void one. So they're doing this champ chase, and they're saying, okay, here's a uncapped money sink for us. We're going to give you one for free. We're going to do a capped, fusion event, and we're going to do a capped, Freya event type thing. That way you can get 3 of the 4. And I wouldn't put it past them. Conspiracy theory hat on. I wouldn't put it past them to, after this huge well out event, for them to give us Thor in another way. I mean, they absolutely did that with the Phallic Blade Master, as I like to call him, as well, because it was like, oh, shard event is the only way to do it. And then they even had to go back and, disclaimer, we can, just because we told you about this doesn't mean we can't do other, stuff. So I wouldn't put it past them to do that. But what I will say is at least these champions will still be in the game afterwards. So you can still get your Odin after the fact. Like, I feel like I'll never get the Archer, and I went pretty ham on the Archer as well.
Okay.
And then just one other point. I know we're talking about spending in the game, and I have spent a poop ton in this game too. But someone put this to me early on, and it's like, if this is your hobby, like, there's a lot of people that spend probably the same, if not more, on hobbies like golf, or if you collect guns and you like to go to the gun range, you can spend a poop ton of money. Or if you're a car person, you're going to buy us, an old car and fix it up. And how many thousands of dollars are you going to put into that, right? So now my beef is the fact that they make me play this game more than I want to play it. That's my beef. But I absolutely feel like this is my spend hobby right now, and I play the game.
Okay.
What do you think, Blazin?
So again, with the summoning events, I mean, I can't lie. I've done. They are the best videos that we've do, and I think the dopamine check happens. I love it. I have to have it. It's just, I'm not an addictive person to like gambling and stuff like that, but the shards just get me, right? Maybe it's just because I'm the gamer. But that said, I feel like lately it's just event after event after event after event. And if I haven't said it once, I've probably said it 100 times. Plarium is masters of manipulation, right? They are masters of making the FOMO happen, and they are so far ahead of any other game designer out there with that it's just like, do this. We've got over 700, I think we're close to almost 800 champions of the game. It is a better chance to get him now than it's going to be 6 months, 10 months down the line. But the thing is it's too much, right? And listen, I get that they're full blown out. We got to make money. And, again, thank God for the Krakens that allow Ken and some of the other guys out there to be free to play. And I can only imagine if this game didn't have those kind of players, what would actually happen here. But I feel like we kind of need to tone it down with the summoning events. I know that they did say with like the Ash video that they were going to increase the ways that we could get champions, but I feel like this is just too much. I feel like we need to go in a different direction, not just popping shards, but I feel like we need to go in a direction where they're actually obtainable through like the quests, right? And one thing I do want to mention is they put in this, where is it now? Under player info, right? We get the badges. Why not put a champion in here, right? Why not give us something in here that once we collect all these, we get a champ? I think that is a huge thing. Would you guys be opposed to something like this? Like, would this make you actually want to try to go for a lot of these badges if they were to do that, Ken?
Yeah, it will force me, of course. Right now, I really don't give a time for that, because there is some of them, I believe, like want you to clear the dungeon very short time, right? Like I could maybe do that, but like I don't have a time, and there is no point for that. And I'm not going to spend my resources to do that, especially during these days, because we are super busy on these days. Like there is not a single energy I can waste it, to be honest, on this kind of useless stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I'm looking at chat here, and they're saying that one of those badges is for plat first in plat 5 times. So I don't think anyone's ever gonna get that champ. But I like the idea behind it. Like, could they all like they have so many champions now? They certainly could do other like more Marius type stuff. Like more of those like dude blah 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 blah. It might take you a couple months, but you're gonna get it as long as you kind of keep up with whatever the mission is. I think they should maybe add more stuff like that. They could certainly put it. They could do more. I don't know. They got to do something with Live Arena, in my opinion. They could certainly like do seasons in Live Arena, and that would in each season maybe give you a chance of getting a champ. By hitting a certain mark, like stuff like that. I'm all for it,
challenges, BLAZIN. Go out to the
Challenge.
main hub.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, sorry.
I
was just repeating what Chat was saying. I did not verify.
Top dog, is this it? Global leaderboards. Where are we?
I think it's up a little bit. Simply the best, maybe.
Arena Master. No. Simply the best.
Yeah.
At least 5 times Plarium. What the? Seriously? I
Look at CBC Master.
Yeah, there's like a 5 one as well.
That's
5 million points in a CBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go to Jay's point real quick, because I feel like this is just Jay, what are your thoughts, man? Would you support something like this?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to have another champion in the game that's attainable, but with certain things like that, you might want to maybe it's not get all the badges. Maybe it's like there's like a regular one and then a void one, maybe, but that seems kind of insane. Plus, like, you want to reduce the time of playing raid, like, in my opinion, as an in-game player. I don't want to have to sit here and grind more stuff for hours and hours. If it was just something that like kind of like a retroactive that I've already done and I can catch me up and I can already be like 60% of the way because of how far my account is, I think that'd be most people would be okay with that. But something that you have to grind, like, that seems like insane.
I'm just,
dude, I don't even have one top 100. I'm like top 400 in plat.
Okay, so Tektron right here would get that, right? I think Panda would get it. Infinite would get it. Plarium. NBF.
I bet those aren't retroactive.
No,
I bet those you have to do it.
That's insane. Like, you're talking not even 1% of the 1% would be able to get this. That's what the fuck?
Yeah, if I could jump in, and that's my point. I think the idea is really good, but I'm sure they can see on the back end, like, these special badges are going to be like these 0.01% chance. And like, I wouldn't want to see rewards tied to completing that kind of stuff, because I mean, just Plat Arena alone, not to mention landing first place 5 times, that's absurd. But I mean, time zones again. If you're in the United States, that's 4 a.m. for us. On going from Sunday into Monday, the workday, right? So that's not even an achievable thing for most people in the United States, right? So then they would have to start, trying to make it fair and all this. Like, I don't know, badges are badges. In my opinion.
I was kind of excited about the badges. I was like, yeah, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm like, it does seem like a little more of a whale fest type thing. And I know we touched on it on one of the previous podcasts, which is why I feel they put it in. But damn, Plarium, what the fuck? Like, I think you need to go back to the drawing board with some of these.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just a badge, right? So like the cool people that put 5 million points in CVC, they say, okay, cool, I can show you this, boom, and flex, right? But
yeah,
that's not going to be most players.
The special guest is I am Roadblocks for today. He is joining us. Speaking of that, let's go to you next. What do you think, man? Would you want to see them tied behind some of this stuff?
I wouldn't want to see a champion tied behind it. I mean, based on, obviously we've already seen how kind of crazy that they are now, but just imagine if you think about how long it takes to get some of the other free champions that they've introduced in the game now, Saoirse, High Mother Maud, that's gonna, I would just see them taking a great idea like this, which I think it is a good idea, and then making it something that's going to be a 3-year journey. What I think would be a better idea to associate with these badges would be skins. I think that would be fun. I mean, you're talking about people that have gotten what was it, first in platinum 5 times or whatever, and they have a really cool skin for their arbiter or something. I think you'd be able to recognize, oh man, look at this guy right off the gate. So I think that'd be kind of interesting. But champions, that's a pass for me.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
I support that.
I think everybody would.
That's a good idea.
Priest Guardian says here, how about a badge that says 1 year free to play?
That I would love that. They need to do something for free to play. Like I wish there was a way to, represent that a little bit more.
Let me ask PJ, where do you stand with this? What do you think?
I mean, I do like the idea of getting like more champions to like get unlocked. I don't know if this would be the best area to do it, especially with the current challenges. There's no way there should be a champion unlocked. I like the skin idea. Maybe even like profile avatars could be a cool idea. The one issue with skins is people always say that they give skins to champions that they actually don't use in arena. Like even Arbiter, like high-end arena players. I mean, some people are still using Arbiter, but I say most people probably aren't. People might get upset about that. So depending on the skin they give out. But I like the idea of badges. I hope they do more with badges and make some of them more realistic. But I like the general idea of badges, but I don't know about a champion behind them.
Yeah, I the 5 million Plarium. Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking with that one, and then the Plat Arena one. I didn't even, to be honest, really, guys. I didn't go looking at every single one. I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like they're showing us some of the things that we can, that we've done. But yeah, there's no way in hell that I'm doing 5 million CVC points, and there's no way in hell that I'm going to push Plat ever again. But that said, let's move on to the big news of the week, which was the Thor fusion and the pretty messed up summoning event that we got at the end of the week, right? Or beginning of the week. So we had the summon rush, I believe it was, that came in, and let me pull it up over here real quick. So we had that on Monday, and they locked in. We just thought we were going to be able to get just some extra champs, and they ended up, or some extra fragments, and they ended up locking in some of the points behind this. Now, I guess there's 2 ways to look at this. One way is, guys, we know what Plarium does. We know Raid Shadow Legends is a heavily monetized game. So I guess my first question is going to be, did you guys expect them to pull something on this event? Let's go to Ken first.
I was thinking something special, but wasn't thinking it's going to be Thor Soul Titan event point, which is if you look to the, I mean, as we see right now, it doesn't show any Titan point right here on the schedule on the Plarium play. If you look to the other events after they release it here, they show it.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just decided on the last second. But obviously some people are decide to skip the previous summon event for the fusion because there is a 50 fragment. They said they are gonna be happen, right? Mm-hmm. And some people like play safe. Actually, I decided to play safe because like I wasn't know what kind of point recruitment they are gonna do it. Maybe they are gonna punish us, right? The people will decide to skip their summon event earlier. So maybe they are going to ask like 5,000 points for the 25 fragment to get for the last champion for the fusion. So I didn't skip the previous one. I wish I did because otherwise it won't be hurt me. I will open my shard for the fusion anyway, right? So I skipped my last one. I didn't skip this one, but good thing is I got a second Teok, so I don't mind. It's a 1+1 as well, so it's not terrible time to open. But again, like if I was low on the shard, that will be hurt me, that for sure. That's why I'm saving my shard.
Ken, I understand you just made Streamer of the Year and Partner Streamer. Keep throwing that double Teox around, bro. I don't think you're going to have the views or the subs for the next year.
I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to help you out, bro. Yeah, so what about you, man? Were you thinking something was going to happen with this event, or were you just like, yeah, it seems pretty legit?
Yeah, I think I actually, I didn't think this. I think I had thrown out there that maybe the Deck of Fate could be tied to it when we first looked at this. So I thought maybe they would throw something with it. Are we giving a reaction to the event too?
You can give your reaction to the event too if you want.
Yeah, I guess that there's certainly a little bit of frustration with it. I think that's what the community is feeling. It would have been nice to know that it was tied. Then you could have skipped the other ones and just gone all in on this one, and you kind of double dip in and blah blah blah. Right? Like I certainly understand that, but a lot of times they don't offer this extra 50 frags. There's been fusions where you can't miss anything. And the fact that we had the extra fragments, I mean, it allowed my free to play because I ended up missing Dungeon Divers by like 10 points because I fell asleep and I didn't have enough, I guess, auto battles set up or whatever it was, energy. So this like it helped out, right? So like I'm happy that they had it because I would have missed Thor if it were a fusion where they didn't have the extra fragments. But yeah, I'm certainly frustrated as well because it would have been nice to know, and I could have saved some shards here and there. So yeah, I guess I'm mixed on it. I'm glad they had it. I'm glad they had it though. Ultimately,
yeah. And to your,
I wouldn't have had Thor. I wouldn't have had Thor in my free to plays.
To your point, we used to be able to get like 150 fragments. And they started stripping that out, which kind of sucks, right? I know, who is it? Jay Giggs is a huge like advocate of Plarium. What the hell? Because you literally allow us to have no extra life. You leave us zero room for error, and unfortunately, life does happen. I happened to miss the Packmaster Fusion because I had a lot of things going on through that. And little did I know, like, he's one of the better champions for Hydra, and I kind of hate that I missed them. And I try to go for every single fusion. But Jay, what were you expecting with this event, man? How much did you think was going to happen?
So I mean, I figured it was going to be just like the Summon Rush, just like the first one that started, because it was Champ Chase first. Usually it's good to have Summon Rush in the beginning, so you can pull mysteries and then do Champ Chase at the end. But we had Champ Chase at the beginning and then double Summon Rush. It actually helped me out because I missed one Dungeon Divers and I hate DD. And I missed it by a few points. So luckily, if it wasn't for this extra, I wouldn't, been able to have Thor. And this other champion chase for the tight event is insane. It's a lot of points, but I went for it as well. So that's helping me get closer to that 5-star. But overall, it's kind of just too congested, too close. Everything is so tight, and it's like, man, you only get a few days. You can't, like, no breather time. Gotta get my shards back from Clan Boss or at least Doom Tower or something else. No, they're just jamming it all in there, so you feel like you have to spend. And unfortunately, they got your boys. So good luck. Good job, Plarium.
I just gotta say, I've been holding strong for almost 5 months now. I'm holding strong. Just a gem pack. That's it. They're not getting me with that FOMO. So not happening. Not now. Watch them do, like, I don't know, something stupid to get me, like, a guaranteed mythical, and I'll go for that. PJ, what about you, man?
Yeah, definitely would have liked to have known that there would have been Famer points in the event, but I might get some flack for this. But I mean, the other summoning events were pretty cheap. So, like, it's like it's like a bird in the hand or two in the bush, or two in the hand, one in the bush, or whatever the saying is.
I think each one was about 6 sacreds, because I was trying to go as low as possible, and I think I had to use 6 sacreds almost on each one unless I had some stuff saved up.
Right, so I feel like that's on the better side.
Yeah, well, I mean, 6 sacreds for a summon rush is about where it's been for a while. And about
but
20...
Champion Chase, I didn't pull any shards. You could,
yeah, the Champion Chase can be done without, with just using the Brahma fusion and stuff like that.
It seemed like it was pretty low.
It didn't seem too bad, but like I said,
it was lower this time.
It was 1250.
It was 1250. Yeah, so I mean, if you just pulled sacreds, because it fell on a 2x sacred, if I'm not mistaken, you were looking at 5, right? Almost, 5. So altogether, you were looking at 12 sacreds to complete this fusion, barring this event. Continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Right. No. Yeah. So I felt like it was a little bit lower on points. So I was pretty happy that the events were lower, and I was originally planning on skipping the 2 events and just went for the 50. But seeing that the points were lower, I went for those. I was gonna skip like a DD or something, and then I ended up was really close to finishing the DD, so I just did everything. And we didn't have to, like, the first 25 did overlap, but we didn't have to get the other 25 to get the Fey Hammer points. You also didn't have to do these Fey Hammer points. You can skip 250. So you could skip some of these and get some and do the other summoning events down the line. So yeah, it's kind of scummy that they didn't tell us earlier and they don't like us planning. But I think the fusion being relatively easy kind of makes up for this, like, kind of blindsided move.
Okay. I guess we're going to touch into the Fey Hammer points here in just a second, because I feel like we can skip the 250, but can we really? Because some of these events look like a joke. That said, Roadblock, where do you stand on this, man? What were your thoughts?
Well, going into it, when I saw the fusion plan, on my main account, I took the risk and went and waited. Did I skip? Well, I tried to skip the 2 summoning events, but I missed a Dungeon Divers. So, anyways, but I waited for the summon rush at the end, and was pleasantly surprised. That we had really a bunch of great events. You get the 10x for the Unity champions, and then the summon run and all of it. So on my free to play, I didn't take the risk, and so that's kind of how I approached it. Just did a summon regular because Thor was more important to me than getting something crazy in the back end. And I'm kind of in agreement with Jay a little bit here. I wasn't super upset that they put the Thor points in the summon rush. I agree that it would have been better if they revealed that, hey, this is going to be a thing, because it definitely affects people's planning and how they would have spent their shards. But it for whatever reason, and I honestly I can't put a finger on why it doesn't bother me that much, but it really it doesn't. Maybe I'm just used to, maybe I'm indoctrinated to Plarium's mischief now at this point, so I can't. It's just like, yep, that sounds like Plarium to me.
That was kind of my thought when I first opened the event and I looked at it. I was like, all right, well, 9 sacreds seem kind of steep for the 200 points, but I look at it the way of like, listen, it's Plarium. I've got to expect the worst out of them. Granted, is that a good thing? No, we really shouldn't. A little more transparency with the community would be great. Right, we were told we were going to get a Freya event for a guaranteed. It's been like, what, 2 months now, and we still haven't seen anything, right?
It's coming.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but I don't think it's coming yet because it doesn't say anything there yet. It says there's
really?
Hammer points, but it doesn't say Freya is the reward.
Oh,
I know. We'll discuss that in just a second here, but Mr. Zero, let's go, man. Let him have it.
All right, this is my soapbox, and this is gonna sound like an ADHD brain dump, but this is Zero Brew's hot take on it. Okay, here's the deal. I want to make sure that Plarium gets credit, and also they need to be slapped around a little bit, because here's the deal. I know we talked about free to play and spenders and earlier in the stream, right? And spenders, what helps the free to plays be free to plays. That's all cool, fine, and dandy, but you don't need to piss off your community with lack of communication. And the thing that pisses me off about this specifically is they have been doing good about the calendar and overly communicating to us more so than they have in the past. So kudos for that. But this specific thing felt like a bait and switch. And it felt like bad business practice. And it's a real quick way to ostracize and piss off your community, because if you relying on your spenders or your free to players to keep this community going, for you to keep putting out champions, you don't need to piss all over them in the forms of the communication. And why do I say that, right? So I want to say, let's give them credit. They put 4 events on the summon event, right? So it was pull one, get one. It was the Unity champions. They threw in the Thor champion pieces, but what they forced us to do, and it sounds like it worked out in a lot of many people's favor, right? Was it forced you to grab those 2 extra fragments. And the way I look about that is, okay, they gave us here's the fragments, here's how you get Thor. That's cool. That's all fine and dandy. And we're going to do 3 summoning events. I think most people kind of looked at that, or at least I looked at that, and maybe the community can agree or disagree, but is, hey, I'm going to do everything up front. And if I need that last summoning event, that's going to bail me out if I screw something up, if life happens. Okay. And I think that's the way most people approach this. And then, they told us about it. That's all cool. But then they threw the Thor hammer points in there, and they basically forced us to go grab those extra 2 frags. And that's the way I look at it. Right. And I know Modern Thinker, and he's probably not in here today, but we kind of had it out. We just had an open conversation. We were using analogies and stuff. And I think it was a great, great communication. I love that, talk during the live stream, right? When we were on Twitch. And he had a valid point. He's like, hey, it's Plarium. This is what they're doing. This is their business model. You just come to expect that. And I was like, yeah, but honestly, and he kind of took it off and said, hey, like car dealership, right? Like if I know my car is going to go on sale in 3 months, I'm not going to tell the customer that if they're going to pay and buy the car at full price or whatever. But I was like, yeah, but let's take that analogy a little step further. That's like saying, hey, this car is going to be, $10.5 thousand, right? But if you buy it now, it's only going to cost you $10,000, okay? And you get to save $500 on your car. But then what they really did was, here's our next car that we know you're going to buy too. By the way, you got to pay us $500 extra for the first car you bought. And that's the thing that pisses me off about it is they strong. And the reason why too is those were 2 slots on this other event that could have been something else, right? Whether it's a potion, a shard, or whatever else. And they basically strong-armed us into paying the full price. Or for the people that missed a couple, it was their bailout anyway. That's cool. And that's the way, again, I think most people should approach it. But I felt like I was strong-armed into taking 2 crappy epic fragments that's going to buy me what 2 chests, and I don't even know what the conversion rate for High Mother mod, and I'm only got like 26 frags on that, so I don't think I'll ever see her. But I don't know. That's my soapbox. I don't know if I'm on an island thinking that way or not. And again, I want to give Plarium credit. They are switching things up. That's cool. I got no problems with you making money. I got no problems with you switching things up. I want to applaud you for putting 4 things together, right? You put 4 things together and it was a cool thing. Like I got no problems with that. But don't bait and switch us and act like you're being transparent and then strong arm us into doing the other thing, right? That's my take on it.
Okay. And I think Alpha Bravo Gaming here brings up a good point. The surprise is that we're still shocked that they do this kind of stuff, right? Most of us have been playing for at least a year, some of us close to 5 years. We should, I guess at this point, know what to expect. Is that right? No, absolutely not. And I think that's what gets people is like, over time, we've shown you that we love the game. You have a great game. We play it day in, day out. We've been dedicated to it. We know that you're not going to be on the up and up and telling us everything that's going to happen, but pulling this kind of stuff kind of just, I think, like Cole Red said in his video, just a slap on the face. And I'm just like, I just don't understand why they just can't be a little more transparent with that, right? Now, going on,
I mean,
go ahead.
Just to jump back in just on what you said, that's cool. Just be transparent about it. Just communicate it with us. Don't tell us we got a summon rush and then don't tell us everything that you have in the summon rush, right? And I get it. They're trying to make sure we're burning our resources and all that stuff. But it just felt like a low blow. And again, we know different things are coming. They were transparent with that. And that's the other thing is they were transparent about the stupid Deck of Fate thing.
Exactly.
And we've been hoarding our resources and then they got to pull this underhanded triple summon and points tied to it and all this extra stuff. Just be transparent about it. Just say, hey, this is coming. This is how we're going to make money. And by the way, if you want to try to min-max the Thor fusion, here's how you do that, right? Don't bait and switch us and force us to pull everything for the fusion after we've already completed it, right? That's right. The thing that just pisses me off.
And you bring a really good point there because they were transparent with how we were going to achieve on getting Freya. And I feel like, chat, maybe I'm wrong. You guys can let me know. Would you, if they were more transparent with us, if they were saying, listen, you're going to get these extra points. This is what the monthly calendar is going to be in advance. Would you be more enticed to spend, right? If they were just, listen, we're going to have these shard events. We're not going to tell you who the champions are, but you can expect that this event's going to have this. If you had known in the beginning, would you have actually purchased shards to go for this event or not? And let me ask, I mean, I know what Ken's going to say, but I guess, would it have enticed you guys if you had known up front that this was going to be something that was going to happen? Would you have spent if you knew that? Ken?
I will not, because I like to be continue $14, so... but yeah, I guess like people can prepare if they know what's coming, so they can try to spend less if they know what's coming, when, and how much it's going to be cost. So that can help. And Plarium probably doesn't want that.
Okay,
it's not good for their,
All right, Gestal, same question to you. Being a spender, would it entice you if they were just upfront more transparent with you to spend more money on the game?
Yeah, I think if we had a let's say a better relationship, Plarium customer relationship in terms of I would say a lot of things, but certainly transparency one of them. I think that would be I think it would definitely get me to spend more money in the game for sure.
Okay.
Like I almost like I very reluctantly spend money on this game now. I try very hard not to. It has to be 2x primals or something. Like I'm basically done spending. So that like And that's, for a lot of reasons, I don't feel like I need to anymore. Like, whatever. If I can't beat a couple guys in live arena, that's life. But it's also more of a challenge to do, just try to do work with what I've got and do the best you can with what you got, kind of thing.
Okay. I like how you made it feel like we're in an abusive relationship with Plarium where
It kind of is, bro.
Go.
It kind of
go.
is.
Okay, we're coming back. We're playing. We'll be good. Please don't do this again. All joking aside, though, like I get that. Like it does feel like that sometimes, though, right? Jay, what about you? Would it entice you if they were just more transparent? Would you be more opening to spending freely?
No, because the thing is, the mercy things would have to change. Like the mercy would have to drop down. Like in terms of there's no like champion I can pick what champion I want to pull. It's very random. It's very, of course, RNG, and sometimes it feels good and sometimes it doesn't feel good. Like I pull shards and I got a cardial and people were like, "Oh, you got a cardial." I was like, I vaulted him. I was just like, "No, I don't need this." I was not happy. Like, and you would think as a customer I would.
Cardial?
Yeah, I mean, I built them now, but I mean, like when I first got them, right? I was just like, oh man, it's not. I would have liked a Siffy or something else, and I got a card. I was like, oh, what a waste of a chance! Like, I don't got time for this. I wasn't happy, right? Like, so even as a Void Lego, you think I would be like more excited, but I was just like, no, I already have things that do the same job as this champion. I don't need it right now. Of course, mythicals are what the big things everybody wants, but even then, people are like, hey, go do this for more primal shards. I barely do classic. Live arena, and I'm totally fine. I just enjoy the game, so. The only time I think I spend money on, there's 4. There's whatchamacallit, I pretty much I try to like only when there's guaranteed, right? They got me with Narcissus, but I was happy with it. I was okay with it. And he really just like changed my account just entirely. I even use him in PvE as well. Against Amius, everything. It's just I think it's better when the customer knows what they're getting versus just tons of random stuff. You could get double like opening clan fathers and you're like, bro, what am I gonna do with this? Like, can we get something where we can revert a champion in and get a different one out, plus the area that said they were gonna fix in the soul market where we can the tokens, they said they were gonna change that in 2 years, that's still there with the same exact champions? Like, really? So like as a spender, I don't really like to, right? I don't want to, because I think I've already invested enough, as a investor / player. So no, I don't, unless they get something like this, a Titan event where they got me to spend a little bit. That's the only time, because I do value 5-star champions. No matter what champion it is, I value it. But yeah, I try not to spend as much in raid.
All right. Yes, the double TX does not get me too, but vaulting Cardiel, that is a crime. I mean, that is an absolute crime. Who vaults? First of all, if you pull a Cardiel, he's gonna make it almost to every one of your teams. Double TX, okay, I can use him.
It's hard to use him. Yeah, it's too much problem.
Not that I'm trying to make excuses for Ken here, but come on, you're talking a Void over. But PJ, what about you, man? Would it make you more enticed to spend if they were more transparent?
No, it would not make me more enticed to spend. It would be nice to be able to plan more if they're more transparent, but if I wanted to spend more, they need to get better pack offers. These pack offers, especially recently, have been so bad. I haven't bought in a while. I mean, I bought like the monthly gem pack. That's like pretty much it recently. I've been waiting for some good good like energy packs, and I just been burning through my gems because I just haven't seen anything. So I need them to, if they want me to start spending more, they need to give us better pack offers.
Okay. Roblox?
So the transparency, I don't think it would get me to spend more. What I do spend on my main account is more like diverting my gaming budget. Raid has kind of become my primary game. So instead of buying 2-3 new games every month, I'll take that and I'll maybe buy some packs or something. So it wouldn't, me personally, that wouldn't affect me, but the transparency would very much help free to play players, I feel like, because you get exactly like PJ said, you get that planning to say, like, for instance, I didn't want to take the chance on my free to play with this particular Thor, controversy, but I would have had enough shards on the free to play to have gone for this better summon rush. Now it didn't hurt me because I got the T-Ox and everything in the long run, but I would have preferred to skip some events in this and then be able to, quadruple dip in the summon rush event. So yeah, I think transparency would be really good for free to play players, but I don't know that it would adjust my spending budget personally.
Okay. All right. I guess my last one is going to be to Mr. Zero Brew. What about you, man?
Yeah, so I just think that it's an abusive relationship at this point.
No.
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the thing. Like, again, I used the golf analogy. Yeah, I gave the golf analogy earlier, but it's like, I've spent money in this game. Like, come on, like make it worth my while and communicate with us. Like, I know we joke all the time about calling it Weight Shadow Legends, but I feel like after this last one, like now you got me wondering if, and again, I want to give them credit because I know y'all talked about it earlier, is they lowered the threshold, and they lowered that threshold in the other summoning events and all that because they knew they were going to screw us at the end of the week, and they're like, oh well. They lower that threshold and say, oh, well, this makes no, like you said, oh, it's only 5 Sakers. Yeah, we'll pull the 5 Sakers. That leaves us with 19 or 20 or whatever by the end of the week. But I just feel like, yeah, they're just going to make us wait and hoard more because who knows what they're going to give us next time. And it just would be nice if they were. I get it. That's the gotcha mechanics. And that's part of what this is all about. But I don't know. It kind of feels abusive at this point.
Yeah, I hear that. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Priest Guardian for the $50 super chat. Thank you very much for the support. We love you. Thank you so much.
Let's go.
I don't know. You just have me like. I wish I could just. I would tattoo your logo right here. Right here. As a matter of fact, you know what? I got an idea. Make sure you send me your logo that you have on the YouTube. I got something planned for you. All right. That said, let's go into the Deck of Fate event that we've been talking about here. And I mean, we've got it. Where are we? Adventure Deck of Fate. So it's gonna do. We're gonna get artifacts, right? We're gonna get the hammer points. But there's no talk of a Freya. So is this going to be something that we're blowing our shards again? Or do you guys think that last minute we're going to end up getting, oh, hey, we added the Freya into this. Let's go to, let me go to Zero first.
Yeah, I'll go first on this one. So here's the deal. Again, talking about abusive relationship, when they did the soul thing last week, I purposely didn't pull souls, and I know a lot of people in my community, they were like, oh yeah, Zero, log into my account, pull my souls for me. I'm like, hold up, because they do Deck of Fates where they do shards, and that's what we're anticipating with Freya. They also do one with souls, and they just made us burn our souls if you were, bad enough to take the abuse to pull them last week. So I didn't pull my souls anticipating that they might throw souls in a Deck of Fate. And now that I see this, because I haven't actually seen this yet, now that I see this, yeah, it makes me think it may be shards and souls and training or something, and then the next one's going to be, just shards and something else. I don't know. It feels, it feels bad, man. And it makes me think maybe they say gear, so maybe it's the new gear set, right? That's in the dungeon that's going to close in 4 weeks, excuse me.
Okay.
Possibly, right? So another chance to get that. And I don't mind that so much because they actually drop decent gear, right? When they do these events. So I like Deck of Fate. I don't like having to pull every single one of them all the time. But I know that's what we're thinking of if you want to go for Freya. So the fact that they're doing this and not saying it's Freya makes me real sad for the week right after this. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. To answer a question here from Alpha. So I think as we start getting closer and closer to the end, as they did with the Fatalis one, not the Fatalis one, but the last event, the Blade Master. I forget what they called it. The Blade Master event. Yeah. As we got closer to the end, that's when those kind of guarantees came in for like the Deck of Fate for the Fatalis, for the Archer. So I think that those guaranteed events are probably going to come towards the tail end of this. They're going to try to just milk what they can with this. So, Roadblock, to you, do you think we're going to see a change on this, a switch up last minute, and Freya's going to be added?
I really hope not. I think they've already got enough bad PR right now with what we're talking about so far today. The thing that for me, it's just the way it's worded. Through in-game activities, I know they don't always like put on there like, oh, by spending shards or anything, but in-game activities makes me sound like maybe more of a dungeon divers type thing. But I have no clue. I really hope they don't put Freya in last minute. I think that's gonna really tip the scales in the wrong way for them, like from a PR perspective.
Okay. So this is coming on Thursday. So if I am looking here, we don't have any summoning events, right? So this is going to definitely be a shard summoning event because the last summoning event ends when? Actually, yeah, we won't have one for Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's going to start Thursday. So if I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a shard event.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now, yeah.
So, same question to you, PJ. What do you think, man? Is it going to change last minute and Freya's going to come in?
I don't know. This was kind of stumping me because Deck of Fates aren't... I mean, we had them in the past, but they don't come, like, super often. So, if they have one now, the event dungeon ends in a month. So, they would have another month to get in another Deck of Fates. I mean, which they definitely could do 2 Deck of Fates, but they haven't done them back to back that often, I don't think. So it's kind of weird. Maybe in a few days they'll put it in that Freya's gonna be there. No.
Wouldn't it be awesome if they would just communicate to the people that devote their money, time, and energy toward this game what actually is coming and keep us happy so we know how to play their stupid ass game? Sorry.
No, definitely.
Chat, do you guys want more communication from Plarium? Is that what you guys want? Go ahead, PJ.
Yeah, I don't... I feel like... I don't know. I guess it's not going to be it. It says Venture Deck. It looks like it's going to be... Deck of... I don't know. I hope it is, because then we're going to... I don't know. The way that they have it, I don't see them doing another Deck of Fate that recently after, so I think maybe it will be, and they'll put it in late, but they could definitely do 2 Deck of Fates within a month or a month and a half.
Okay. So again, I'm 100% sure that this is going to be a summoning event, just to looking at everything else. It won't be like Get Gear for Dungeon Divers. We may have like a champion training locked in with it, or some Souls events, because I'm just going here by process of elimination here, right? So I feel like maybe upgrading artifacts might also be one of it, right? Because the last, upgrade artifacts is right here. So I think what's more likely going to be with this event is going to be shards, stones, and champ training. So. Yeah. I would error, or I'm betting that that's what's going to be it. I mean, we'll see next Sunday if I'm right or wrong, but
I do think Souls will be coming up in some events soon.
Yeah,
Soul Stones.
Jay, where do you stand with this, man? What do you think?
It reminds me of one of those Deck of Fates that have lots of gear. They're calling it the Adventure Deck of Fate. It's most likely, I mean, unless they're trying to do something, scummy, they could wait till last minute and add stuff. But it just seems like one of those events where we can get lots of crit damage or protection or some other gear. If they would have called it Asgard or Divide Deck of Fate, right, they could have easily just been like, oh, that's Freya. But the fact that it's more like Adventure, sounds like Dungeon Divers, sounds like champ training, things like that. Hopefully they don't sneak it in, but that's what I'm just from reading from what it seems like. And plus they just had PR. Why would you want to have bad PR to PR? It doesn't make sense. From Plarium doesn't mind having a little bit of negative stuff. They love to rile things up. If there's no one talking, they like to do it. I always say they move one step forward and they just like to shoot themselves in the foot and go right back. I don't know. That's just weird how they do it, but that's just up to them how they do their game. But I hope hopefully it's not going to be, but from what I'm seeing, it just looks like it's going to be another gear free resources if you want to go for it, but otherwise just save for the next Deck of Fate.
Okay. I mean, I'm kind of happy if it is like a champ training because I could probably get that done and save some of my shards because I'm a little low. But Gestal, do you think we're going to see a last minute switch up here and Freya's going to be part of this?
Yeah, I think all good points made by everyone so far. I don't know if I have a whole lot to add on to them. I'd say they did say there's going to be a Deck of Fate and that had Freya, and I feel like they don't have I feel like they're once a month type thing. So I guess there's still a month left. So I guess it is possible. But my initial reaction that this is the Freya one because they announced it and because we don't get it that often. So I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. I think the adventure that is, I think I heard Nupkeck say something about it being maybe just a gear one as well. So I think it could very certainly be that. But yeah, I kind of used up all my shards, so even if it is the Freya one, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go for it anyway. So
okay,
I'm out. I'm out either way.
All right, he's out other way. No, not happening. All right, Ken, what do you think? Do we think we're gonna see a last minute switcheroo here?
They can they did on the previous summon event, right? On the PP calendar, Plarium Play calendar, it wasn't show us we are going to get the Titan event, right? Titan point, but it was right when it's pop up on the in game. We see there was a Titan event for the previous Summer Rush event. To be honest, but I don't know why you guys don't like that. To be honest, if this is Freya Deck of Fate, that's good because you need to open your shard to get Titan point anyway, right? And you can also get the Freya together, so it's a double win. But if this is not Freya, then you guys need to open your shard to get Titan point, and after this one, they are gonna do another Deck of Fate. Then you need to open your shard again to get the Freya. So that's actually will be bad. So you guys better pray this is the Freya one. Or you guys better pray you didn't skip any Titan points so far because so far on the every Titan event, guys, they released Deck of Fate or the Pet event actually. Pet event actually not that terrible, but Deck of Fate, I remember that they released them on previously as well, and I was actually saying on my stream, guys, I'm not skipping any point at the moment because I feel like they are gonna do Deck of Fate event. But I was also saying that I was believing this Deck of Fate going to be Freya, because they said that, and so you can also get your point and etc etc etc. But if this is not Freya, guys, so Deck of Fate is RNG event because you need to flip the card. I believe there's a 40 of them, right? And let's say they are gonna put 200 point inside of it. Okay, you can either open 4, I don't know, void shard, let's say 4 sacred shard. Maybe you can flip maybe a 5 card. Boom, you got your 200 point. Congrats, you can move on now. You don't have to open any other shard. But if the RNG not with you, end of the day you maybe have to open all of your shard to flip all of the card, because if you didn't got the Titan point behind them, then there is nothing you can do. You have to open all of the card, flip all of the card to get your point, right? So if this is again Freya, that's good because you guys can also get the Freya with your Titan point. But if it is only hammer point like it's show right now on the calendar, that's bad. That's bad for the people who already skipped their point for the Titan event. Because if there is no Freya here, I'm thinking to skip this one.
Well, you bring a good point about only being able to skip so many, but I'm going to bring this up now because this is what kind of bugs me the most. They are locking not just behind the shards, but now they went a step further and locked it behind a specific faction for the Spider Tournament, which, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think Barbarians is the worst faction for a Spider. I'm looking for HP burns, AoE. You only have Chronum. You have no reset champions. I mean, you have Huskrul that's a control. You have, you know, what's his name? Armand's that's a control, but he removes all the turn meter.
BLAZIN.
What?
They want you to use Thor.
They want me to use Thor. Yeah. Where?
Yes.
Where?
In Spider.
Okay. How are you going to get it done? What's the team?
Because he does that crazy smack per people he hits, right?
Yep. Okay. How are you going to get the damage out on hard mode Spider without a hex?
You can't do hard mode. You have to do normal because that would
you don't have to do hard
make
mode.
too much sense for you to play hard mode with their special rules.
So then we're going to be running at like a 2-minute Spider team for stage 20?
Yes, you can't have a 5-second team. Come on. That would be way too little time to play our game. You know. Sorry, I'm being a butt today.
You know, I feel like guys, and you can let chat know. Do you guys want to see a skip between myself and Zero where one of us is Plarium employee and one of us is actually the community member and seeing the responses? I feel like that would be fun.
Bro, I'm down. Let me know. That'd be funny.
But that said, I mean, let's go ahead. I'm going to start with Ken first. You know, you made the point about skipping the deck event, but how are you sure you're going to be able to get this event done being locked behind these, you know, this specific faction?
I mean, I try a little bit today. I'm very close to make a Spider 10 hard team with the Thor and Freya. But it's not sustained and I don't want to waste my energy. Maybe I can take a look tomorrow again. It's possible. But here is the other thing. Like you said, like you cannot farm on the hard difficulty, right?
Yep.
Well, don't farm hard difficulty. Why you want to farm hard difficulty?
Well, as an endgame player...
Do you need a gear? Do you need a gear?
No, I mean...
Are you farming this dungeon for the gear? I am not. I'm just doing them for the literally tournament. Point, to get my point. And you can even get your point there on the farming on the stage 10, which is going to cost you less energy. So, normal stage 10.
That is true. I guess my biggest point, my biggest problem is that the runs are going to be so freaking long that it's going to gate me.
No, man, I don't think like Spider 10 is not going to be that long, to be honest.
Fair. I mean,
or 16, 20, like, come on, man, like you have an endgame account. I don't think you are going to have a problem there.
I'm not thinking just for myself. I'm thinking with the overall, you know, if I was to do it on some of the other accounts that I
Again, like people with the early game or the mid game, like obviously early game people cannot do that, I believe. But like a little bit more like close to the late game, like if you cannot do like, if you're not happy about your time, you can always lower the difficulty in my opinion. And there's a super rate as well. So even like 5 minutes, which means like 2.5 minutes, it's not that terrible. You can just leave your PC open, RSL helper, you know, or whatever. Unless you are mobile player, obviously this will be bad. But yeah, man, like you can always lower the difficulty. Like back in the day, like when they first time start this condition tournament, it was Dragon, I believe, and I wasn't have any max HP champion, poison, or the HP burn. I use my best champion, and I cannot farm on the stage 25 Dragon. Not even 20. I can't. And it was like just 1 year ago, by the way, not crazy time. I was like terrible faction, you know? And I farm on the stage 16, and guess what? It's cost me less energy. I like it. I like it more, to be honest.
You know, I feel like maybe it would be a little bit better if it was a turn attack, because then it would make more sense to farm the lower stages, because you would, I guess, you know, the lower turns, it makes it better for the points on the event, and then it doesn't take as much for the dungeon divers, because we are going to have a dungeon divers coming up again that it's going to go over, it's going to overlap too with. is this Alpha Bravo? Is this stage 10 normal? Correct? Or no? Is this hard?
No, that's probably
It's
That's
gotta be
this is hard. This is
Thor did
hard.
7 million.
Okay. Interesting.
It's got a rare free to play.
Yeah. It's got a last pay to win.
It balances it out. Low spend.
It's a low spend. That's your area of expertise, right?
Medium spend.
Gestal, what do you think, man? What are your thoughts locking it behind the specific faction?
Yeah, I guess it's annoying, right? Because if you're gonna do it, you'd rather just farm the highest content and maybe you score a good banner or something. But you'll get a fair amount of silver for doing it. But I have no problem running it on 20 normal just to knock these stupid things out. I've done it in the past when I didn't want to like regear champs or something. And these turn attack ones they go pretty quick, so it's not the end of the world. I get why they're doing it, right? Because this is where all these new champs are in the faction. They want to make it annoying, but they also like to throw these little twists in there. So
I feel like
whatever.
any other
Not the end
dungeon
of
would
the
have been
world.
better. Any other dungeon.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Because this one, there's just some stress that just make it so easy, right? But
Right.
I don't know. I kind of like trying to figure these things out. I don't mind it. I don't really mind it, but it's all right.
Okay. Jay, what about you? Where do you stand with this, man? Is this BS or are you for it?
No, I mean, it just depends on where your count's at. If you really want to go for 10 and spend more time, you can. Otherwise, you can go back to 20 or 25 of normal. I think maybe hard 6 would be not that bad. Because remember, as you go down in the hard mode stages, the boss get faster. So if the speeds are a problem, or you can just with Thor hits hard. And a lot of champions hit hard nowadays. So Spider Hard 10 is different than normal. Normal is about burning. Hard is about poison, HP burn expiration, or just one-shotting all the tainted spiderlings and then just doing that one more time, and then there you go, 50-50, 100, you're dead. So I actually don't think it's that crazy. Now, in terms of barbarians, maybe not everybody doesn't have the same amount of champions. If you haven't been playing that long, you might be very limited. That's where it's gonna, I guess the problem lies. But if everyone has Thor, if it was able to get one, I think it should be plausible, at least on hard 6, for everyone to be able to do it. Especially most people have Armons too. You can just control the lings, let Thor just survive enough until you can do it one more time, and there you go. Now, there's not that many Hex champions, right? So you might have to use a curse set or something like that. But if you don't have this, you just go back to 20. Just go back to 20 and just do it that way instead. And I'm not gonna have trouble. I have actually a lot of barbarians, like multiple Valkyries, multiple Elder Scargs, and stuff like that. So it should be decent for me.
So I know everybody's saying, Thor is going to be the key, or we're going to use Thor. But here's the thing. He's going to require books. And yeah, okay, I will book him, but what are we talking? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. How many of you guys in chat are sitting on 10 books to use this guy? How many of you guys actually even got him ready to go, right? So I feel like that's another one that kind of, I don't know, that bugs me. So PJ, what do you think?
I find it interesting that Spider is the only one that they're doing like a special event with. Usually they do like all of them as like a specialty thing. So it's interesting that it's just Spider. It's kind of annoying. If you're going for the 5-star and you're like mid to late to end game, then you shouldn't have too big of an issue getting it done, even if you have to drop down to like normal. If you're early mid game, then you're probably not going for the 5-star either, and you can skip points if you're going for the 4-star or 3-star. Like you're just trying to get anything at that point. So you don't necessarily have to do it. But it is kind of annoying that it's Spider. I think Thor will be nice. I don't know if you have to book him. I think he could be okay without books, at least initially.
Alpha Bravo just said his is unbooked on the one that he just showed us. So
obviously booking would be better, but
we're also talking about really crazy geared accounts here too. So I want to think about
dungeons.
this. true. Even normal dungeons, though, I think are going to require some sort of level, some sort of gear for the player to have. It's not like, oh yeah, just put in Thor and he's going to do great. You still need the gear,
Of course. But if you're, again, like I said earlier, if you're going for the 4 or 5 star and you're mid to end game, I mean, if you're mid game plus, like, you should have the gear to be able to do this. It's also, will this overlap the free gear removal? I don't think so. But yeah, I think dropping down to the normal dungeons, don't be a hero. Don't force yourself to do hard just because it's hard. Do 20, do 16. Like, you just want to get it done as fast as possible. Spider nowadays really isn't anything too crazy. You're getting a lot of your special accessories from other areas that are way better. So yeah, it's annoying that they did it, but I don't think it's like the end of the world.
Okay. Mr. Roblox, now I know you made a little comment earlier about the lady here that's in my lead, and I was going to call you out on it a little earlier, but I figured I'd wait a little bit. What do you think?
It does seem like a bit of a challenge. I do completely agree with that. Doing it on 10 or stage 20 normal are very viable options. But one thing that hasn't been mentioned yet is this is also going to coincide with a personal rewards clan v clan. So I'll already be booking champions. If I book Thor instead of whatever my plan was, maybe I'll do that. But this may impact some people that will be wanting to do higher stages of Spider instead. But just something I noticed when I was looking at the calendar. Yeah, I think another champion that might be slept on for this that could be potentially impactful is Loki. AoE A1, great for a cursed set. Get that hex out there, and then whether it's Thor or maybe another nuker that you might have in Barbarians, you might be able to capitalize that way and get some success there. So I think it'll be a challenge for a lot of players, but most of the people that this interests anyways have Thor, and a lot of them are probably leveling him and booking him during Clan v Clan. So
yeah, to your Loki point, I did try using him in normal Spider 20 to like spread the HP burn and stuff like that. He was killing those spiderlings with the A1 so fast. I'm like, it was like, okay, so this is just gonna, like, the run took me almost 6 minutes to do. Mr. Dabmaster, where do you stand on this?
Yeah, so I don't necessarily mind it. I think these are like, so you can go up and down on the items. And again, while I've been bitching a lot today about Plarium and stuff, I don't mind them doing the specialized rules in the sense that it kind of forces us to build out the Thor, build out these different champions. And I know there's always a champ chase event going on. So I don't mind, switching up as, hey, here's my team that can do it in 4 seconds or, 5 or 6 seconds or whatever, or 5 turns. And I just set that and forget it. And like, I don't even think about that part of the game. So this at least lets me think about it and use other champions. It's kind of cool. But I think I'll go back, and I know it's been mentioned several times, and this goes back to my trading card game story, but they really got to give us better time on stuff in this game. Especially, I feel like right now there's just been an extra onslaught during these events with these 4 new champions that they're just constantly cramming and requiring more and more and more time. Got to give us one run for Iron Twins. Let us run all 6 keys in one time. Let us run all 7 or 8 keys for double keys for Doom Tower or something. Just let us get it over with. Spirit of the game, and that's the thing that kind of pisses me off. And I just want to mention this. So and I know people have bitched about Siege and the red dot and all that, but I was like, you know what, it is what it is. I just kind of come to accept it with the red dots. But then on Wednesday night, and I was saving it because I normally stream on Tuesdays. I streamed on Wednesday. So, I'll do my Siege with chat and we'll do it together. And then, I was like, oh, you know what? I've done everything I need to do. Let me go play this other game. That's on me, whatever. But when I woke up on Thursday and realized my clan won, and B, I would have pushed us from the 3rd gear slot to the 4th gear slot if I'd run Siege. But I forgot to do my Siege keys. And I'm pissed because they had conditioned me for 13 of 14 days to ignore Siege, basically. And the 2 days as active, or the 1 day I was supposed to do it, I just completely went over my head because I'm so conditioned to forget it. And it just goes back to time sinks. Like if I just had more time to do other stuff, I don't know. But
Okay.
don't worry, they're gonna get you. Play this game here. You know what? You can't do your 5-second runs with Spider. You got to do a 2-minute run now with Barbarians. Just give us more time in the just brainless parts of the game. Right. Even Faction Guardians, like, cool. Okay, we got to do the 2 key on stage 9, and then the 2 runs at double. At least they gave us double there, right? But still, like, just let us run all 16 keys or whatever in one run and be done with it. Like, these little 4 and 5 minute ticky tacky things would just add up to give us an extra 30 minutes, right? So,
yeah.
All right, I'm off my soapbox again.
I'm going to answer the question over here. I Crushed It says, if it's 30 hammer points, just skipped it with the dumb limitations. It's probably going to be 50, if I'm guessing, because I was just checking right now. Both the other 2 dungeons are 50, so would probably be around there. Now, the last thing I want to touch on here is we've got a warm-up event. And I don't remember maybe some of you guys remember the last Fusion event that they did, not the last one that just happened, the one prior to that one, they had points in that Fusion. And so people just it was like a milestone that they did not use or need, and Plarium didn't replace the rewards for anybody that didn't get it. But now they're being, I guess, we've been talking about them being transparent. They're being a little transparent here, saying, hey, listen, we've got a new Fusion starting probably Tuesday, Wednesday of the week after. But hey, we're going to put some Fusion event points in this warm-up event here. What are your thoughts on this? Where do you stand? Zero, I'm going to go with you first.
Yeah, I'm cool. You know what? And that's the things where I want to give them as much credit as possible. The warm-up events are stupid easy, stupid fast. You just play the game and you get them. So I feel like these are like really cool little bonus things, right? And they're going to give us some hammer points. Now, what this does mean is whatever they would have given us before on a normal one is now being, a slot is getting filled for the hammer points. But, it is towards a 5-star soul if you're going all the way for Thor, right? So, I don't mind it. I think it's cool. More of this low hanging fruit. You play the game, you get these points. And you know what? We'll give you some hammer points in there, right? So I don't mind it. I like it. More of this. Thank you.
Okay. I agree. Roblox, where do you stand?
I mean, I love the warm-up events for all of my accounts. I will say sometimes that that's the one thing that gets me the most that I forget to do, where I'll forget to like, oh shoot, I did a pull 10 more mysteries or whatever it was to knock them out. But them having points in it, it's an easy way to get points. The only downside for me, my newest free-to-play account doesn't have Thor, so those hammer points don't help me, and I would rather have probably, like, Zero Bruce said, some rewards there for my account, but I got nothing against it.
Okay. PJ.
Yeah, it's cool. Free, pretty much free points. Would have been better if there were extra points. I don't know if that would have been better or not. Maybe, because these aren't extra, right? These are just part of the normal traditional points we get. I believe so. Extra points would have been maybe cool. But yeah, I mean they're pretty much as free can be as far as Plarium concerned. So I'm down.
Okay. Yeah, so the rules for this one isn't going to be like a turn attack. So the number of points you're getting from lower level dungeons, from like a stage 10, isn't really going to add up as well as doing stage 20. So I was just answering a question for I Crushed It here. Jay, where do you stand on this right here?
I mean, free Titan points for basically playing the game, and They don't have to put it behind a paywall or something. No, it's a win-win, man. Because all the warm-up events are easy, and now we're getting just free, time points on top of that. Like it's good. I wish they did that for every single thing, but overall, it's actually one of the best events because it's so easy for free to play. It's free resources, and it usually comes every 2 weeks to a month, so it's not bad.
Okay. You know what I wish? I wish Plarium would actually just, on this event calendar right here, just like you release it for the fusions, just tell us how many points are going to be in each one. That way I can plan it better, right? I don't want to get them towards the tail end and then be able to get useless rewards. Or at least if I've already completed the event, give me something else in that spot. Don't give me the useless rewards. Go ahead, Zero.
Yeah, and then I just want to key off exactly what you just said. The way they do these point event things, I just hate the way they do it. It's just, again, a bad customer experience, right? Like I'm in my new job, and I obviously I have put customer service like in my mindset, right? And so it's just like, God, we're your customers, man. Why you got to treat us this way? Again, bad relationships, I think. But it's like, okay, cool. What is it? 1750 points. We know we can miss 250 points, right? And so, but basically, we got to keep track of, I didn't do the final stage in Champion Chase, so I'm losing 150 points there or whatever. So now I can only skip 100 if I want the 5. Like, it's just a really bad way of doing business. I feel like, come on, throw us a bone. Like yeah, we can look at our thing, but we don't know how many points are coming if we're not keeping track for 2 weeks how many points we skipped, right?
Right.
I don't know. I just wish they would do that system a little bit better too.
Let's go to Gestal.
Yeah, I think what they could do, they already do this with fusions. They map it out for you, give us a nice calendar. They tell you how many fragments are going to be in each one of the things or whatever it is, or rare or whatever, right? So why not just do that for the Titan event? I think that would just alleviate all the strain on this. And hopefully they're moving towards that. These Titan events are still relatively new, maybe not that new. I mean, remember the first one of these things? It was like 2 months long.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was horrible. So I think I think it's hopefully still a work in progress. If they were to add some sort of calendar, I think that would just make life much better.
Yeah.
And I just got to jump back in because I know I've been negative Nelly over here, but cool. They give us an awesome champion and they're giving us a 5-star blessing. Like, how cool is that? Because we know pulling blessings out of the stupid forge thingy or the gem farm, soul gem farm is crappy. Soulstone. Sorry. But yeah, like, this is cool. Like, good on you, Plarium. Give us a champion. Give us a chance to get their 5-star soul. Cool. Just don't make it so ambiguous and hard to track this stuff. Yeah, sorry. I'm done.
Rozola here brings out actually a really good point. Give us an in-game calendar, because for mobile, I feel like this is really difficult to track, right? And I know we touched on this a couple of weeks ago, the difference between PC and mobile players, but mobile players are at a huge disadvantage because they can't see a lot of this stuff in advance. So huge call out on him for this. I feel like definitely needs to happen. Last but not least, let's hit it off with Mr. Kenpachi here. What do you think about the fusion warm-up event having the points in it?
3 points for because warm-up event are so easy. The other point Raiko mentioned, most of the mobile game have that thing. Actually, I never think about it, but you are actually correct. Mobile player not getting benefit from it. Even it didn't show you everything. You can at least see what's coming next, so that's very important. Like Gestal mentioned as well, like and the Zero Bro, Titan event is basically fusion. Like, we are doing the same thing to get the fusion, right? We are opening shard, we are doing dungeon diver, enhancement, whatever, training event, and they can just give us like calendar, a schedule, like they are doing for the fusion. That can definitely help lots of people. We can prepare for it, but I think that's the whole point. They don't want to do that, they just don't want us to prepare that much. We either going to risk it by skipping the event earlier and we are going to regret later, or we are going to be lucky this time, and we are gonna do the correct decision, you know. So yeah, but warm up event free, man. It's a free point, so I'll take it.
All right, I need to read this. Wolfcrick says, we at Plarium strive to maintain a high level of customer service, which means basically treating our players like mushrooms. Feed them shit and keep them good in the dark. That is coming from a Plarium employee right there, guys. Oh, no, I'm just joking. Maybe he is. Who knows? I don't know, but it's definitely, it definitely does feel like that. But I mean, no one actually said anything that we have a new fusion coming up in like a week. Like, it just finished. We're just going fusion to fusion. Let me ask you, are you guys tired of, fusions, or do you need some time off to be able to develop your account and do some stuff outside of a fusion? Would it be okay if Plarium says, hey, you know what, month of October, take some time, build some champions, farm out some masteries, do some other in-game stuff. Don't worry, we're not going to do a fusion. Chat, where do you guys stand on that? And then Ken, how do you feel? I mean, I know you don't do every single fusion, but...
Exactly. I mean, don't do every single fusion. Like, if you think your account doesn't need that champion, just skip it. That's what I'm doing. And I'm finger crossing for the next fusion. Hopefully it's going to be the trash and I can easily skip it, like, hopefully, because like the last couple of months, like we talk today, Raid is very aggressive. They are releasing actually good stuff that you cannot skip, So it's a little bit drain me. And I like to save my resources back, and I need the time for that. So hopefully next fusion is ugly dude, so I can skip it.
I'm gonna counter your argument right there and ask you: are your faction guardians full?
No.
Okay. So
I mean, some of them are full, but some of them are not. Like, for example, my lizard man has a 5 Ryzen. That's my only faction guardian until I pull the 2 Theox.
There he goes again. There he goes again with the 2 Theox.
I mean, bro, like, here's the thing. Like, fusion is not going to give you faction guardian. Like, you need to pull them again, right? So,
well,
yeah.
I mean, the reason I try not to skip the fusions is because, and I think Mr. Burrito Slayer did a excellent review on this on like a thread over on Reddit, where this guy had 6 factions full, and it was all fusion champions, right? He was just you're more likely to pull a fusion champion. It just seems like it's.
I mean, there is lots
way.
of fusion champion. It's totally normal. Yes, but here's the thing, man. Like, if I am going for every single fusion, then eventually I cannot go the fusion I want because I'm gonna be out of the resources. Like, for the free-to-play low spender, you can't do that. Like, you don't have that option.
Right.
Like, it's for the people who spend the money. Otherwise, you are going to be out of the resources, my friend. You just cannot keep going for the every single fusion or the every single soul event you want. You can't. You just can't.
Fair.
Like, even it's going to help you on the filling your faction guardian, which is, yes, faction guardian is huge, but not that huge worth. Like, couple of shards, lots of resources. Come on, it doesn't work like that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, it could be the chance of getting your faction guardians full, or plus 2ing, plus 3, maybe plus 4ing a particular champion that you got multiple copies of. I think skipping fusions is hard, but I see where your argument goes, but I feel like filling those faction guardians, doing those fusions, because again, I mean, HWZ seems to think that the number is at 32% of pulling a fusion, so I'm going to agree with that.
Like, I skipped the timid fusion. I have 2 timid, for example. There you go. I can still fill my faction garden with the fusions, even I skip them, so...
True. Gestal, what do you think, man? Do you need a month off from a fusion to do some other things on your account?
I honestly, I am gonna take that approach on the free-to-play account. I've decided I don't feel like it's necessary for me to go farm on there. I think I need to be farming more gear. I think that's more important for that account at this point. So if there's If there's a fusion I can skip, I'm like, man, this guy's terrible. I'm gonna skip it and use the resource, like use the energy resource up. The main account, I'm kind of in the mode of like gotta catch them all. I get plenty of shards to do the fusions. This with these Titan events, it makes it a little more difficult, I guess. But I seem to have been able to do them all. Like shards not being the issue. Typically, it's like, do I want to blow all these gems on energy right now? That seems to be really the issue on my main account. So I just tend to go for them just to fill the Pokedex.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
What do you want to call it? I mean, I'm perfectly fine with another one as long as it's going to be the one that they said is coming soon, but then we got the Asgard Divide, and then we got
the dog.
Yeah, the exactly
the
the supposed supposed dog, or maybe it's a female Pac-Master that can also do stuff with dogs. Who knows?
Actually,
we don't know.
I have a little bit of kind of a sneak peek. It's gonna be the Christmas fusion, and it's a reindeer.
So is it gonna wait? It's gonna be the empowered version of like Rhyme Beast. It's gonna be a better version or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, yeah, but I mean, normally we want to break. You know, that would be nice. But since we already know that it's coming, it's like, well, let's prepare ourselves mentally and resource right for this next fusion coming. So,
okay, PJ, what about you? Are you looking to get some time off in Plarium and say, hey, just give us some time off. Let me get my account a little more worked on.
Kind of. I go for pretty much every fusion. I'll probably go for this next one as well. I just wish they would have given us a little bit of a break, maybe like a 2-week break in between, just so we could really farm this the event dungeon out, because we only have 4 months of that. So it'd be nice if we could have gotten like a 2-week break and then had the fusion have some event dungeon stuff in it, so we can like really like spend our resources on that before it ends. But yeah, a full month would have been, I think, too much. But I think 1 or 2 week break in between this Titan event and the fusion would have been nice.
Okay. Roadblock.
So I usually skip Titan events for this because it's very difficult to do a fusion, then do a Titan event, then immediately do another fusion, and I would rather have a chance at getting a good champion that could change the account than necessarily a soul. I know souls are great. I'm not saying that they're not, but I'm really curious about this fusion though, because they just announced the champions that were coming out, and I don't know who's going to be the fusion. I mean, obviously they don't usually announce that this early, but I don't know. I've seen some interesting videos this morning theorizing some possibilities. I don't know if I want to say them again, but I'm intrigued by it. So hopefully I'll have the resources to do it, but we'll see. And I think I think the main reason for me that it feels like the timeline is so short is just because I actually did the Titan event here. I feel like when I skip them, it usually works out, and I don't know.
Okay. I think just because we're at the tail end of the, Asgard Divide event, it might be the fusion for the dog. I forget what she's called, but Loki's son or daughter.
Fenrir.
Yeah. I feel like it might be Fenrir coming in. It would make a lot of sense. It would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they've managed to do a pretty decent job of keeping everything under wraps. So with that, Zero, what do you think, man?
Yeah, if it's Fenrir, we were speculating about that a couple of weeks ago. That would be amazing, and especially if it would work with the orc that they released, right? The Packmaster, that'd be really awesome. Come on, content creators, don't you know that fusions are the way to develop your account with champion training all the time and dungeon divers? You want to run Odin? You do this dungeon diver event and get your Odin event thing going.
Yeah, how am I going to get my champions mastered?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I say that tongue in cheek, but I literally am running Odin, run the Odin dungeon right now in the background, just to get the dungeon diver points to whatever. But
for a cheap 800 gems, BLAZIN, you can get masteries in an instant.
Hey, listen, I'm not free to play here. I'm not Mr. Ken who just buys the masteries. I farm them.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, same. No, so here's the deal. Yeah, I've skipped a handful throughout time, right? Like I had a Lydia, so I skipped Morrigan. Don't worry, they made me pull 3 Morrigan since. I did skip Lorinaka, and I skipped not Timid, but what was the double fusion with Timid and what's her Madoodle? I skipped those.
Talking about Kaja?
Kaja was a deck of
She was a deck of fate.
Yeah.
She was deck of fate, but then was Timid the fusion then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I skipped Timid, I skipped Lorinaka, I skipped Morgan. Those are the ones I have essentially skipped. But you know what? Again, kudos to Plarium for releasing newer content in the game where these champions like Sin City or whatever. But the other thing that they're doing, and I think they need to do more of this, and that might help people commit more to fusions, is buff these really crappy champions. Because I never went for Lorinaka, and thank God I haven't pulled her. But didn't they buff her and make her a little bit more usable now?
Yes, she's insane now.
So yeah, if it is a crappy fusion, you always got to keep that in the back of your mind. It could be a crappy fusion now for the next 6 months, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're gonna tweak it, and now it just nukes Armand's if he shows up on the battlefield. That would be awesome.
All right.
No,
Buff Armand's, I guess, is what he's gonna say after this, right?
no, I want Armand's removed from the game. That's a different conversation. But no, I think if you have the resources, kind of go for them, because you never know what's going to happen in the future, right? But I do like taking a break. I have taken a break, every 6 months or so, and that those 2 weeks are the most peaceful 2 weeks in this game, honestly.
Okay.
So,
all right. So my last question for today is going to be: how far are you guys going on this Titan event? Are you going for the everything full 5-star, or you're just riding your luck, see what you get? Ken.
I'm going for 5-star. Yes, Thor. Actually, I really like his performance. I already maxed him. We play test him. I was thinking stop it on the 4-star, because 4-star going to give you critical damage. But man, he's definitely one of the champion worth the 6-star eventually, and 5-star obviously can help more. I recommend people low spender free to play. Stop on the 4-star, guys. If you guys don't have resources, if you have resources, definitely go 5-star, worth it.
Okay, Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going for it on both accounts. I think he's going to be really big for my free to play, so impossible for my free to play to get souls. So I think it's definitely worth getting it. And then main account, why not? Just going for it. It's it's just tough to get souls. It's tough. It's that saves a ton of resources, a ton of time and iron wins getting a 5-star. So might as well go for him.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, I'm going for the 5-star as well, but for some reason, I don't know, every single time I get close, around 920, somehow I always miss one event or two, and I'm like, dang, I can't get it. But I'm gonna, if I get the 4, I'm okay, but I'm gonna definitely go for the 5.
Okay. PJ?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get the 5. Gotta try to figure out what I want to do for the rest of the event. So the deck of fate is kind of concerning me now, because I don't know if it's gonna be with Freya now. So maybe I'll skip that and actually finish the summon rush, or what championship chase we have now. Not finish it, but get the extra fit 150. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to get the 5-star.
Okay. Zero.
come on for Thor. Sorry, I was chatting. I was communicating with people in chat. So is the Thor fusion? Are we going for the 5-star?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think absolutely right, because Thor is a damage-based dealer. You really want to get that crit damage, right? And I think it's 100 or 150. I haven't verified what I'm missing out on this champ chase event. So that only I think gives me like 100 wiggle room. So I just got to be careful of that. Just like Jay said, like if you screw up, something, you screw yourself out. And I think specifically for this one, you really want that crit damage. And then, like again, I want to give them credit for giving us the chance to get the Thors, but the 5-star souls for these newer champions. That's cool, but it just goes back to how crappy it is to earn the resources to actually get these champions out of the actual mechanisms of the game to get it right. it's like 300 to get the 4-star soul, and then another whatever it is badge tokens, and it takes 6 months to get enough to maybe get one. So in my opinion, these are well worth getting because they're basically giving you this huge leg up in the game that you can't get in the normal part of the game, which is silly. So
okay. Roblox, what about you?
I'm doing the 4-star on the free to play. I think I'm already out on the 5-star at this point. I wanted to go 5-star on the main account. Work's been a little difficult, and
Wait, you work? Raid Shadow Legends is no work. It's live, breathe, and die. Raid Shadow Legends. Come on.
I wish.
You're never gonna make it into the content creator program if you don't live, breathe, and eat raid. That's it. It's done. Come on.
I'm trying. 3 accounts, working and parenting. I try to make it work. But
and you got kids too. Get it.
Yep.
Get it.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
But I don't know. So because I did do the full summon rush and got the max points from that, I think I'm still okay. But I'm not really tracking it. You got to make sure that you're doing your, keeping your mental good and everything, right? So I've been a little burnt out after the fusion and now the Titan event, right? So I want 4-star. I'll settle for 4-star. But if I can get the 5-star on the main, I'll do it.
Okay. I agree. I think the 4-star is probably the most important one because it provides you that extra crit damage. The accuracy and resistance is great, but if you're going to build them full out nuke, I don't think you really need it, right? I do want to answer a question here from Joe Gabo that says all CCs get free shit. Here's the thing.
No, they don't.
The official creators get some stuff, but I would love to share sometimes, and maybe I'll have to ask the community managers if we could tell you guys what happens behind the scenes where all the stuff that we have to deal with and listen to from Plarium and what actually happens, because some of you guys might think it's not really worth the 1,000 gems or the energy or something you might get every week to deal with this stuff. But with that said, let me ask you guys, where can people come and find you? Ken?
FinalKenpachi on the Twitch and the YouTube at the same name, streaming every single day at the Columbus Reset, guys. And except Sunday. Sunday I'm here exclusive. And that's all. Thank you.
All right. Hey, Gestal, where can everybody come and find you?
Gestal Gaming on Twitch and YouTube's.
All right.
Love to see you there. Thanks, guys.
Mr. J Star, where can everybody come and find you?
JR Star 3 on YouTube and Twitch.tv.
All right. Mr. MXPJ, where can people come and find you?
Yeah, MXPJE on Twitch, stream pretty much every single weekday. Come hang out, chill. We do lots of fun stuff.
All right. Mr. Roblox, where can everybody come and find you?
YouTube.com/@I'mRoadblock.
All right. And before you guys go too far, I would wait just a minute before you guys head out because there's a little bit of surprise here. Mr. Roblox, thank you very much for the Prime sub, or for the sub right there. I appreciate you. Zero, Dabmaster, where can people come and find you?
Yes, sir. You can find me on the Twitches Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. Although I've been switching my Tuesdays and Wednesdays here recently. But yeah, find me on the Twitches. You can find me on the TikToks and the YouTubes, even though I don't do the YouTubes as much as I should. But definitely on the TikToks as well. And guess what? Right after this stream, I'm going to go get a testosterone shot because I realize my hormones are way to fuck off based on my comments today. So I'm getting my hormone treatment, people. Don't judge me.
All right. Well, on that, why don't you start off with your first shout out, Zero?
I just want to shout out this whole
Hormone
community. Honestly, just y'all are amazing. Y'all make this fun to do. For all of us who do the content creator program, or not the program, but just create content towards this game, it's a grind. It really is, between life, jobs, kids, family, events, I like football. Football, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot. It's y'all make it just worth our time with the interactions, the time y'all spend in each one of our different communities. And I know y'all bounce around to different communities. So thank y'all very much. I'll make it well worth the time and energy and the love.
All right, Ken, what do you got for a shout out, brother?
I like to shout out Anon, Anonymous. He passed away last week. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me try to remember his real name.
Yeah.
I did not hear.
Anonymous.
Anthony Bowley, his real name. He was only his eye was working, guys. Like his body wasn't working, and he was with some special PC that controlled the rate. And he was recently started even making YouTube video with this condition, and it's quite a sad that he passed away last week. And he was playing very actively game. He was like coming to my chat like pretty often, you know, like chatting with us, stuff like that. He was placing a platinum decent amount of the. I believe his PB was top 10, which is that's super impressive, you know. I don't know what to say. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, agreed. It was a sad day when I found out. I think he's been almost in every one of our streams. I've talked to him a couple of times. He was an inspiration to everything. I mean, I was like, every time I did something, he matched it. I'm like, oh my God, like he is just an amazing person, and being able to just control and to do everything, be plat arena level status. I mean, top 100 on globals for live arena. And guys, all he was doing was using his eyes. It was just insane how good and how great of a player he is, and he will be missed. It's hard to follow up after that, but Gestal, what do you got for a shout out, brother?
Yeah, man, RIP Anonymous for sure. Second that. Yeah, he definitely hung out in my stream as well. I got to know him a little bit, and we had sent back a bunch of DMs too, man. So I was really upset to hear that. But let me give a shout out to my man Pogo Pink Tie. He's been on the show here. He's streaming all the time, man. Pogo's an awesome dude. Go over there, follow him on Twitch. Pogo_Pink Tie.
Agreed, definitely. He's a union member of Proud Teamsters, another brother out there. We both work for the same company out there, UPS. Great guy to hang out with. Jay, what you got for a shout out?
Yeah, 2 shout outs. One, of course, to Anonymous Gaming. He actually the arena team that I use to this day for Classic Arena pushing plat or Live Arena is actually his Yumeko, Emic, Trunk Heart with Narcissus and Cora. That blew me away. I was like, oh man, why did I think about that? And I still used to watch his videos, so RP to him. I knew him on a decent basis. He would come and DM me from time to time, so it was kind of sad to see him go. So I miss him. And number 2 is going to be for I think his name, I have it right here. His name is Game Leap. He started a few months ago, and you guys know I always find people, you know, that started off kind of like Burrito or Boozer back when they're not famous. And Game Leap has been, you know, only 3-4 months, and he's already surpassed a lot some of us on YouTube. So he's actually doing a good job. His name is Game Leap Art Raid Shadow Legends on YouTube. So I would definitely check him out if you have the time.
All right. PJ, what you got for a shout out?
Yeah, definitely. Rip Anonymous. Talked to him a little bit. Good dude. Very, very sad to hear. I got 2 quick shout outs. One, quick shout out to Ken for making a partner on Twitch. Super cool.
Thank you, man.
Just been killing it this year, so keep it up. And then shout out to Sutta, given his Twitch link in chat. He started streaming a couple weeks ago. Would love to be able to get him affiliated. He hangs on my chat a lot. I think he hangs on some of you guys' chat a lot. Good dude, so definitely go check him out, drop him a follow, and hopefully we can get him affiliated sooner than later.
All right. And Roblox, what you got for a shout out?
Well, yeah, again, rest in peace to Anonymous. I wasn't familiar with them because I'm kind of new into the community here, but I did hear about that through the person that I want to shout out. Cheap Vodka. I know he's a couple of you guys he's in your communities and whatever. But for me personally, doing the content creator thing, he has been the Robin to my Batman. Actually, he's more of the Batman, honestly. But anytime, you know, I say something, the first thing I do, I look over at chat and I'm like, okay, am I right? Like, okay, Vodka didn't say anything, I'm good, right? So, yeah, just wanted to give him a shout out because he really has. I don't know that I wouldn't be on this particular podcast if not for Vodka. He's actually the one that put me in contact with PJ to get this started when I appeared, however long ago it was. So I really wanted to give him a shout out because he has been helping me a lot lately, and both in stream and behind the scenes. So I wanted to shout him out.
All right, excellent. So my shout out's actually going to be to Roblox because, man, you have been killing it on YouTube. And I mean, I'm loving your live streams. I'm not always active in chat because sometimes I'm driving and I'm just listening or I'm watching your videos. But you've been killing it and you're doing a great job. That said, I'm gonna throw a little bit of a monkey wrench here. So on your next live stream, I want you to pick 5 of your viewers, and each one of them is gonna get 540 gems and 1 epic book. Is that an epic book or is it an ancient shard, Ken?
540 gem, 1 ancient shard.
1 ancient shard. So 5 of your viewers are going to get 540 gems and an ancient shard. You need to get me their UMID numbers. All right. So make sure that link he put in chat, you guys go give him a follow. And on his next live stream, he's going to pick out 5 of you guys to give those out. So big shout out to you. Keep it up, man. And, you know,
thank you.
Just like he did, if you guys have other content creators that you want to bring on the podcast, you want to see their views, just have them reach out to us. It's not, you know, we never push away anybody. We don't say no. You know, even if we have a full panel like we did today, we just try to switch people around to get everybody on here.
You
so
just say no to the double TOX people. It's fine.
yeah, the double TOX people may not come back. I don't know yet, but
no, we can't do this show without Ken. Come on. And
true.
I just wanted to just jump in right. I don't know we're at the end, but just say RIP Anonymous. Yeah, he was in my community as well, and I did not hear the news. So thank y'all for sharing that.
Yeah. That said, we're gonna raid on Twitch, Mr. Grim Reaper. I think he's due for a baby sometime soon, right? So make sure you guys.
Seems like it's been soon forever.
I know. It's like, it's like a Plarium soon almost, right, guys? We don't even know if it's real or not.
Plarium soon.
But that's guys. Much love to all of you. Much appreciation. Thank you for hanging out with us. We love you so, so much. And as always, much love. Be safe. Be well. Be good to each other. We'll catch you guys next time.